Welcome to Ways to Love Your Money. I'm Elisabeth Dawson, and today's guest is going to talk to us a lot about the health insurance that we are in the open enrollment season for. One big one is Medicare, and what do we do? What options do we have? There's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What do we choose? So A, we know, is the mandatory one. We don't have to pay for that, which is a great piece. But what about B? What do these supplements look like? What about C? What about health care in general? What about long-term care? Does our Medicare cover it? I think these are some of the questions that you're going to be able to help get answered when you actually get to listen to our interview with Craig Gussin today. So without further ado, we're going to invite Craig to the show. Let's welcome Craig Gussin to the show. Thank you so much for being back on the show again, Craig. It's been a joy to have you in the past.
My pleasure. I'm glad to be back. Nice to see you again.
Good. Well, I'm glad that you're here. So you have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the health insurance industry.
Thank you.
And we're now in the fourth quarter of the year where everyone's kind of concerned. We've maybe got open enrollment through our employer. We maybe have a retirement that's coming up and it's at hand. Do I stay on COBRA? Do I move over here and go on to possibly my own type of insurance because I might like it better? Maybe it's Medicare, which is the big conversation that usually you and I have at this time of year. And there's all these deadlines. And so what would you want people to kind of hear about how to be mindful of this time of year and be proactive about it?
Decide what you want to do. If you have an individual plan, you have between now and in California and the end of January to make a decision.
Okay.
If you want it to change January 1, then you have to make your decision by December 15th. Medicare open enrollment started on October 15th. It ends on December 7th. So if you have a Medicare plan, what we call a Medicare Advantage plan, you definitely have to make a decision by December 7th.
Okay.
If you have a Medicare supplement plan, that pretty much is going to change during the month of your birthday. But if you have a prescription plan, that's really going to change a lot next year. So you want to look at it. Some insurance companies are having big rate increases for the people who have a prescription plan. One company is almost tripling the rates, and they have another plan that's almost identical to it, that's about the same cost as now. So you want to be aware of that. Medicare.gov came out with a new way to look at your prescriptions. It's called a Plan Finder. They changed it, and you want to make sure that all your prescriptions are on the new plan and not just on the old plan. And when it was transferred over from the old plan, because there's some changes, and the best thing to do is sit down with your Medicare agent and have them help you.
Well, I was just going to kind of come to that conversation because there's so many different moving parts. I don't know how people go it alone.
There's some days we spend months getting ready for Medicare and all the different changes and things going on. Starting January 1st, Plan F, which is a plan that pretty much paid 100% of everything except prescriptions, is going away. And Plan G is similar to it, except you have a small Part B deductible, which is $185. So it's not going to be a big expense to you. That's the things you want to understand. So if you're going to retire if you're going to turn 65 in the next year or two, you can sign up for Medicare 3 months before your birthday, the month of your birthday, or 3 months after. If you don't sign up for that, then you may pay a penalty, especially if you mentioned COBRA. COBRA is not a qualifying event for Medicare.
Okay.
So if you say, I'm going to stay on COBRA, and it's more than 3 months after your birthday, you just lost the opportunity to be able to get into Medicare without a penalty. So it's very important that you at least look at Medicare. Sign up with Social Security, get your card. There's Part A, which is free. Part B is $135.50 a month. They take it right out of your Social Security check if you collect Social Security. If not, you can just pay it. But it's really important to look at that and decide, am I going to still work? If I am, maybe I'll just get Part A and not get Part B now. Normally, Medicare is going to run you anywhere from $0 a month up to $150, $160.
Are those based on income brackets?
It's based on the plan you look at.
Okay.
Medicare Advantage plans, Sharp just came out with a new one, but it was no cost, and a couple other companies have them too. $10 copays, $200 a day if you're hospitalized, and the maximum you can pay out of pocket is, I think it's $2,000, $3,000. But those plans are free or small cost, maybe $10 or $20, but you're stuck with and you're limited to the Sharp network, or maybe if it's a Scripps network, or you can go with a Medicare supplement plan, which you can go to anybody.
Okay.
If the doctors take or the hospital takes Medicare, you can go see them. There's no, having to get somebody to approve it ahead of time. So that's one of the nice things that you want to understand. And if you travel a lot, you might want a Medicare supplement. It runs right around $150, $160, $170 a month, a little bit less depending on the plan you pick, because there's a bunch of plans from A to N that you can go with. So that's one of the things to look at. And the best thing to do is sit down with a Medicare agent. It costs you nothing. It's against the law for anybody to charge you money to look at your Medicare.
Okay.
So if you have somebody who says, hey, it's a fee, they actually just broke a federal law. So it's really important that you understand that you can't do that in anything.
Well, I think that's important to know.
Yeah,
for sure.
it really is.
Well, I think with Medicare, it's such a overwhelming conversation.
Yes.
And I almost want you to bring it back to a rewind to go to the basics. The
okay.
ABCs, right? There's the
Okay.
A, there's the B, there's all the supplements that go
Okay.
along with it. Can you go, as if we're talking to the consumer that has no idea?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Maybe just bring up, A. We kind of all have to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Part A is very simple. Part A takes care of the hospital bills, and it's free.
Okay.
Part B covers doctors, outpatient surgeries. You pay $135.50 a month. Unless you're making more than $85,000 for a single and $170 for a family, then they could charge you more money.
Okay.
Based on your income.
Do you have kind of a range of what they would charge?
I think the most is $400 and some dollars a month would be the
Okay.
most if you're making like $300,000-$400,000 a year.
Okay.
Best thing to do is when you go on when you sign up for Social Security and Medicare Part A and B, it will basically tell you at that point exactly what your cost is going to be for Part B.
Okay.
So they can do all that. Then there's different types of Medicare plans. The Medicare Advantage plan is one where you pick a network that you're willing to go see, and you don't have the choice of going to anybody.
Okay.
And you can change that plan every once a year, which is this time of year.
Right.
In January, February, and March, if you pick a Medicare Advantage plan, you don't like it, you can change to another one.
Okay.
But after that, you're pretty much stuck.
I don't think most people know that.
No,
I don't think they have any idea.
It's like a little hidden secret.
Sure.
You pick a plan and you find out that, oh, my doctor doesn't take this plan. What other choices do I have? Well, let's find out what plan your doctor does take, and then we'll switch you. So you have the first quarter of the following year to do that. There's 1,000 people a day in California turning 65,
Okay.
10,000 nationwide. So you think about that population and how many people, I mean, that's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
I think they were saying every 45 seconds, which is weird because it's your birthday, it's the whole day. But if you have 1,000 people a day, everybody's looking at it. And I have people tell me all the time, Craig, I think I'm pretty smart. I don't understand this stuff. And I always joke and say, neither do I, but I've spent the last 4 months figuring out.
Well, you've done more than 4
Yes.
months. How many years have you been
It's been
trying
over
to figure out the Medicare
25
bubble?
years, but it always changes a little bit.
Okay.
And you really need to understand what's best for you, because if you're somebody who maybe has major health issues and takes a lot of prescriptions,
Sure.
you may be better off with if you're still working, staying on a group health insurance plan that maybe is costing $1,000, $1,500 a month for it, because to get you on a prescription plan that will cover most of your prescriptions, you're still going to maybe spend. I have a client who's going to spend $3,000 a month if we put him on a Medicare, the best prescription plan I can find, where yet his premium for his health insurance, including prescriptions through his business, is a lot cheaper. So one of the things we try and do is look at that and decide. And every year at this time, he sends me an email or calls me and says, okay, what do you think? And I said, has your prescription changed? He said, no. I said, then just stay working. If you're going to continue to work, that's what you're going to do. When you retire, at that point, we're going to have to, look at a Medicare, some type of Medicare plan that's going to do it best for you and figure it out. So,
well, and I think when you and I have talked about these things over the years, it's so important to give people options.
a lot of options.
A lot of options that they didn't even know existed for them. I'll bring up my father. We're dealing with some prescriptions. The man's never been on prescriptions before, right?
Right.
But now we're trying to figure out this plan that's going to work to be able to help pay for those prescriptions.
That's a great question, because I hope people say to me, I'm 65 taking no prescriptions. And I go, wow, really? You're like one of the few people I know.
Yeah.
But what happens is, and they go, I don't need a prescription plan. You do, because if you don't buy one now, you're going to pay a penalty the rest of your life. So what we do is we look and say, what is the least expensive prescription plan out there? And maybe it's $15 a month. So we get that plan, you have it, and if you need to up it next year at this time, we can change your plan to better suit your needs. what I normally get is a phone call during the year. I'm now taking this prescription and it's cost me X amount of dollars a month. Can I change? I go, I can't change you until, January 1. So it's looking at it, and it's a perfect time to look at your plan. If you decide I'm going to get a Medicare supplement plan so I can go to anybody I want, all of a sudden you turn age 70, 75, and you're going, I'm spending a lot more money. Do I really need this richer plan? If you're saying, I really stay in a certain network and I'm going to really see this doctor for the rest of my life, I can put you in a Medicare Advantage plan and maybe bring your cost down anywhere from $0 to $25. Worst case, it'll be like $90. And you can stay with that doctor, you can see it, you're going to have some expenses when you go see him, but you can lower your monthly costs down. Because with a Medicare supplement plan, as you get older, it gets more expensive.
Okay. So
a lot of times my clients, once they get to mid-70s, early 80s, they look at the cost of the Medicare supplement and they go, maybe the Medicare Advantage now is better for me. So you can always downgrade to that, but you can't go from a Medicare Advantage to a Medicare supplement.
Okay.
There are certain ways to do it, but I got to jump through a lot of hoops.
Okay. Well, that's why we all need this education.
Yes.
I'm going to kind of skip into one other area and talk about, dental insurance.
Yes.
We've talked about this a lot because in most situations, people, when they retire from their employer, there's no more dental insurance, and it's not like it's the first option that you can get through Medicare.
It isn't, and a lot of clients call me up and go, I really want dental insurance. It's okay, here's what I can get you. I can get you a dental plan. It's going to cost you $40 a month. You're going to get 2 free cleanings. They're going to cover fillings after 3 months, and they're going to cover the big stuff after a year. So you've paid into it almost $500.
Okay.
And they only give you $1,000 a year in benefit. So really, most dental plans aren't worth it. We work with a plan a lot with the discount and everything you get, and it's like $100 a year, and it's not a bad way of going.
So it's not like people can't get dental insurance when they're retired. They just need to be more mindful of it because it's not really available to them anymore in the whole, menu of Medicare.
And that's the problem you run into. Our dental plans out there I can get you at any age, but I'll have a client call up and say, I need $5,000 worth of dental work. And I'm going, the most I can find for you on an individual basis is $1,000. Even on a group, it's going to be $2,000 or maybe $2,500. So nothing's going to cover your whole plan. They compare it to individual health insurance and they think, I can get something like that where it covers unlimited, where it doesn't.
Sure.
So it's really limited.
It's one of those expenses that keeps going up as people get older, because when we really need our dental insurance is really when we are past age 65. And I know we're kind of getting short on time now, but I do want to ask you this question because it comes up a lot. When we're dealing with clients in the retirement phase of their life and they're talking about long-term care.
That is a big deal.
That's a big deal because Medicare doesn't cover it, but it covers little pieces.
It does.
If you can kind of, give us a summary of what it does cover and maybe...
So if you have hip surgery or some kind of surgery and you need to be in a nursing home for a short period of time, Medicare is going to cover it. Okay. But if you're in a situation like I was with my mother-in-law and she needed assisted living and she was in it for 14 years, they don't cover it. And since when I met her, she already had a history where I couldn't get her long-term care insurance. Unfortunately, I was a long-term care plan.
Right.
And it was running somewhere between $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Wow. So if you do that by 14 years, you pretty much know it's a lot of money we spend out of pocket.
Yes.
So long-term care insurance will help you if you need somebody to come in your house, or if you need to go into an assisted living facility and have somebody take care of you. They will cover the bills up to whatever the maximum amount per month or per day that you pick. Normally I do $250 a day. That's a pretty good number of what you can get. The average person assisted living is about 2.7 years. My mother-in-law decided she would break that number and triple it.
I have a grandmother that broke that number too. So.
Exactly, so you know.
Okay.
But in the old days, when you and I first met, you could get a benefit that would cover you for life.
Sure.
Those days are gone. Normally you see one that'll cover you anywhere from 2 to 5 years.
Right.
Find a plan, find the best one you can. I'll have clients say to me, I really don't want to spend that much money a month. I said, well, let's have a conversation with your kids, because if you don't pay for it, the kids are going to.
Sure.
So they're better off paying X amount of dollars a month or a year right now to protect you that, if you end up being like my mother-in-law and it was, over $500,000.
Sure. Where's that money going to come from, right?
Yes.
Well, and I'm so glad that we were able to talk about that a little bit, just because I think the importance of planning for those health events in
Yes.
our lives, because once we get to age 65, it's going to happen. You know, there's a
is.
70% chance over the age of 65 that we're going to have a health event. So most people think that it's covered with their Medicare, and it's not. So
Not at all.
again, we've got a lot of deadlines coming up. Many deadlines that I can't even probably remember myself. But if you want more information about the deadlines for Medicare, or for supplemental, or even just open enrollment, or there's something that's changing even with your plan at your employer, these are the times that you want to start asking those questions, and you want to reach out. If you want more information from Craig, which I'm sure he'd love to give it, just reach out to us at 619-640-2622. We'll get y'all in touch. This is a powerful conversation, and again, probably the most timely conversation we could have right now.
It is.
So thank you so much for being
My
part of the
pleasure.
show.
Always good to
It's
see
always
you.
a pleasure. Wasn't that a great interview with Craig Gussin? He is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the health insurance industry, especially in the Medicare world, where we are basically coming down to the deadlines about when to get your applications in. So I know a lot of you have questions out there, so please email us at questions@elisabethwithans.dawson.com, or you're welcome to give us a call at 619-640-2622. What I can't stress enough here is the importance of having a great financial advisor when it is in the dealings of health insurance, Medicare, and also your overall planning. So what I want to encourage you to do is don't do this one alone. Make sure you have those professional people that can give you the right advice and the options that you need to have so that you can make the best decisions, because we don't want penalties and we don't want to pay for more things than we need to. Again, I want to bring up our book, Wealth by Design. Make sure you call to get a copy of this at 619-640-2622. This at least gives you a platform to work with so that you know how to actually make the best choices when you're working with a financial advisor out there as well. So again, stay tuned for more episodes to come. We're so glad that you tuned in today. Hi, I'm Elisabeth Dawson, and we want to talk to our listeners out there and watchers with ways to love your money about Social Security. It's the risks that we face, right? We don't know necessarily when the right time to take it would be, or what kind of benefits we would need to maximize our spousal benefits, or gosh, if there's even an opportunity to reduce our risk of increasing our Medicare costs through the roof. So if you want this analysis, we will go through it with you. We have 5 tips to actually get you out of the trap of doing it the wrong way with Social Security. And this is about increasing your benefits over your lifetime and reducing the overall tax on it. So if you want this information, we have this booklet right here. We'll be happy to give it to you. Give us a call at 619-640-2622. And if you'd like a personal analysis done with you, we will be more than happy to make up that appointment with you, sit down with you, see what's the best situation for you and your family. Again, let us know, 619-640-2622. We'd love to see you soon. The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment strategy or service of any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in this show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor.